A very warm greetings to everyone. This is Suhasini, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, RMD Engineering College. In this lecture, I'm going to discuss about the database management system. And the topic which I'm going to discuss in this lecture is relational calculus. So we'll see what is relational calculus and what are the types of relational calculus. So we saw about relational algebra, so which is a procedural language, how you will process the query. So the procedure will be here, but when coming to this the relational calculus, there will be no order of operation to specify how to retrieve the query result. Okay, there will be no an order. Okay, which means the procedure is not followed here, but you will have all the what are the things you have to do, what are the attributes, what are the condition you have to perform, all such things will be given here. Okay, so we say that relational calculus is a non-procedural language, and in the relational calculus we have tuple calculus and domain calculus. We'll say what is tuple calculus and domain calculus. So first I'm going to discuss about the domain relational calculus. In this domain relational calculus, the records are filtered based on the domains, which means how the notations will be here is we have a set of attributes. Okay, only we have a set of attributes, and what are the conditions we are going to do, and where you are going to retrieve, and the P is nothing but the predicate, right, where you will apply the condition. So A1, here I mentioned here. So A1, A2 are the attributes. P is the condition for fetching the attribute. Example, here we have article, page, and then subject. Okay, so these are my attributes which I want to fetch. So from where I want to fetch it from the author table, and where the subject is equal to database. For that particular subject, I want to take the article, page, and subject. So the output is article, page, subject from the author table, where the subject is an attribute. So this is how you will process the domain relation calculus. So for another example, how your question will be is find the first name and the age of the student, where student age is greater than 27. So if I want this query to be processed, how you will write? So first is I want the first name, so I will mention here only the attributes, okay, nothing more than that, and followed by the student, the table of the table name and the condition. So this is how you will have the domain relational calculus. So when coming to the tuple relation calculus, tuples relation calculus will specify the number of tuple variables what you want. Okay, so the notation is T and bar the condition. Okay, T is nothing but the tuple relation. So whatever the attributes you want, you have to mention with the tuple. So this is the condition. We'll go with an example. Here I have find all the employees. All means you want all the tuple. Okay, so all the tuple, so which means I don't want to mention any attributes. So only if I mention T, I'll get all the tuple, the attributes. So I want all the employees whose salary is greater than 50,000, which means the $50. So how I'll write? So from the employee table, so I want all the attributes. So T alone, I don't mention any attribute name here like domain attribute. I'll mention only T. So employee of T and the condition. So similarly, if suppose you want with respect to the attribute also, what you will do is you will make it with representation of T. If I want T name, the first name and the last name, I'll mention it as T dot first name, T dot last name. So likewise I'll mention, and also with the condition will also processed with T dot salary. Here also T dot salary. Previously in domain relation calculus, you don't want to mention here T. So you want to mention you select the particular tuple, the particular row. So for that you will go for this tuple relation calculus. So this is another example I have made here. So query retrieve the birth rate and address of the employee whose name is John B. Smith, which means John is the first name, B is the middle name, Smith is the last name. So what I want to retrieve? I want to retrieve the birth rate and address. So in tuple relation, how I will mention the attribute T dot birth rate, T dot address. So the table name followed by the table name, and what are the things I want, what condition I should follow. From that, my T dot first name should be John, and my middle name should be initial should be B, and my last name should be Smith. So when I process it, I will get the birth date and address of that particular person. Okay, so this is how I will be doing the tuple relation calculus. So thank you.